Hello everybody, and you are very welcome to the third video in my series of 4 videos designed to help you to create your own personal, unique roadmap so that you can have your best year yet. I created this series as a much more supportive and much more focused and individual approach to starting off your new year, much more so than just making a New Year's resolution. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Rebecca and I use QTT personal development methods, coaching, mentoring and homeopathy to help you and your family be as healthy and as happy as you can possibly be and stay that way. So welcome to today's video. If you have been following along, then what you will have done so far is in step 1, we talked about spending some time focusing on both identifying and celebrating the achievements that you felt that you had made over the previous 12 months. And that step was important because it's basically helping you to understand that actually you have a lot of resources within you to get through situations, get through challenges. And it's very tempting when we're in the middle of those challenges to think, this is impossible, I'll never get through this, I won't survive this, all those kind of things that we tell ourselves. And yet, here we are today. So that step 1 was part of identifying that you actually have got survival techniques, very good ones, within you. So in step 2, what we did was we stayed with the feelings that came up and we thought about, well, okay, if we've got those feelings and those resources within us, how do we want to feel over the next 12 months? And obviously, how do we want to feel when we're sitting in this position in 12 months' time? So what that step was really about understanding that once we're conscious of how we feel and how we work, some of the resources that we have to survive things and to negotiate difficult situations, then we don't have to be at the mercy of the breeze, the currents, if you like. We actually can choose how we manage things and how we want to feel. We can select how we like to feel, what feelings we want more of, if you like, and the ones that we don't perhaps want to dwell on. So it really kind of puts you in the driving seat if you're staying with the roadmap analogy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to actually talk about why you are doing what you're doing, or what you're hoping to do, rather. And knowing why we do things is extremely important because, again, it helps us to stay on track when we encounter difficult situations, because they'll always come up. It's just life. It's just, we have challenges, we have to make choices, both small choices and big choices on a regular basis. And if we don't know why we're doing something or why we're hoping to achieve something in particular, then it's very easy to get knocked off course, very easy to just drift off with what may feel good in that moment. So how you want to feel, because you've already identified that, hopefully you'll have, if you've been following along with these videos, you'll have a short list of feelings that relate to something in particular. So I don't know, maybe you're working on one particular aspect of your life. Could be that you've identified that actually what you really want to work on is your personal relationship or relationships, or you may be working on your, how you feel about your job, your business, anything like that. Or it could be that you just want to focus on your whole life and you've identified one big feeling that you want that kind of straddles your whole life. So once you've got that, how do I want to feel, which hopefully you will have by now, that's one bit of your compass, if you like, your navigation system. So whenever you come across situations that are going to challenge you a bit, or perhaps where you need to make a decision of some description, you can kind of check yourself, check which route you're going down by saying, well, okay, thinking about how I want to feel ultimately, is this route that I'm about to go down, is that going to help me to get closer to how I want to feel, or is it going to take me further away? So that's one bit of your compass, which we did last time in the last video. In this video, the other part of that navigation system, if you like, and it's also kind of your destination as well, is your reason why. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why have you chosen to want to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve in the next 12 months? And this, if it's strong enough and it's appropriate to you, not anyone else, but you, then it again will keep you going in those challenging situations. We need to have a destination. We need to know, even if it's a temporary destination, we need to have a kind of next point that we're going to, because that will keep us focused and help us to choose the right routes to get there. And when I say the right routes, I mean the right routes for us, not anyone else. So spend time on thinking about why you're doing what you're doing or hoping to do what you're doing. Sometimes the first thing that comes up, I mean, I would urge you to obviously write that down, whatever it is, but sometimes it's not actually going deep enough to be strong enough to keep you going. Because what you want is, in those situations that are very difficult and are very challenging and can make you feel pretty uncomfortable, that why is going to be what keeps you going. That remembering, okay, the reason I am choosing to do this thing, which is maybe taking me out of my comfort zone, is maybe unbelievably boring for a short period of time, or perhaps something that we wouldn't choose to do on a long-term basis, but it's okay to do on a short-term basis. The reason that we're going to do that is because it's getting us closer to where we want to be going. And it's really as simple as that. And the identifying how you want to feel is one part of it, and your why is the other part. And they kind of act as a check and balance system to keep you on track. So when you're thinking about your why, be as specific to you as you can possibly be. So let's say we're working on finances, and you decide, well, okay, or your job, say, and you think, well, the reason, that I do it, my why is because I've got to earn money. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having that as your why, if it is strong enough. And if you can be more specific than that, it will be even stronger for you. So if, for example, you're thinking, well, okay, I need to do this particular project now, or do this particular part of my job at the moment because I want to have enough money so that I can have a lovely 2-week sun holiday this summer, then probably thinking about the holiday is going to keep you going stronger than just a kind of generalized, I need to earn money. So if you can, because obviously money is often about what we want to do with the money. So, and that can be a lot stronger than just saying, I want more money, because it's not really very specific. So narrow it down as much as you can. And also, if we're thinking about how money is often associated with very particular goals or things, stuff, then if it doesn't matter what it is, it could be a new kitchen, it could be, you know, this year I'm working towards having enough money to get my kitchen upgraded, or have that holiday, or move house, or get a new car, or buy that dress, or whatever it is, then you can actually, again, like we said a couple of videos ago, you can actually find an image of whatever that is, or something that symbolises what you're working towards, and you can have that on your phone as wallpaper, or your screensaver, or your, you know, on your laptop or your PC, or put it on your vision board, or just have it somewhere where you can see it on a daily basis. And that again will help to remind your subconscious and your conscious mind that that's where you're going, that's what you're working towards. So hopefully, when you're, you know, in those difficult situations, going, okay, I'm not really sure what I need to do here, I'm not really sure which is the right decision to make, then, or the right choice to make, do I take this on, don't I take this on, then you can think, okay, well, how do I want to feel? Is this decision going to help me get there? And also, is it in line with what I'm aiming for, where I'm going, where I'm hoping to go, my why? And the reason they act as a kind of check for each other is, so I keep using money analogies, but it's just a very easy example to give. But let's say we did decide, okay, well, I need to earn a certain amount of money this year, and therefore I've got to really ramp up my ability to harness money, basically to earn money in some capacity. You could go out and accept everything that came your way that would potentially give you a bit more money. You know, you could accept every extra job that you were given at work. You could take on every client that came your way. You could, you know, you could be really just going for it and taking everything. And if you don't think, well, is this going to help me towards, you know, how I want to feel, then you might end up taking things on that are not going to make you feel very good, or perhaps going to really burn you out, you know, make you feel exhausted, resentful, overwhelmed, all of those things that hopefully you've identified that are not really in line with how you want to feel. Now, obviously, there's a caveat to that, in that if you think, well, okay, I know I will be tired for a couple of days, but sure, I'll get over it, because I know that after that I can rest. You know, we all have to make those sort of balancing decisions on a regular basis. But hopefully you will have identified that any discomfort that you're prepared to accept is because it's going to get you closer to where you're going. So that's what identifying your why is all about, and how it works with how you want to feel. So really, I'm just looking at my notes to see whether I'm on track. Yeah, so step 2 is about putting you in the driver's seat, really. putting you in control so that you can harness the resources that you have within you that perhaps you didn't know you had. And today's step really is kind of the second half of your navigation system, if you like, and also can be your destination. Now, obviously, when we think about our big whys, we can have one big why that is just going to keep us going because we're working on something very particular. Or, you know, coming away from the financial examples, it could be because you have a particular skill, you work with people, you have a talent and a skill for, you know, that you'd like to pass on, that you know that people will benefit from. And what is really your driver is that you want to help people, that you want to, you know, you want to pass on your skill, and that you know that each person you help will make the world a better place. You can have those kind of whys. You can have anything that really means that when you think of it, that's what's going to get you out of bed in the morning. That's what's going to get you through. So that's why it's good to spend a bit of time on it and really think about what it is that's actually driving you. Good morning, Maya. Now, there's a wave thing here. I'm going to press it and see what happens. Yeah, there we go. Hopefully that means I've waved at you, Maya. Okay. So let's see what else I was going to say about that. No, I don't think there's anything more really to say about it other than really spend your time on it and drill down as much as you can, because, as I say, it's got to be strong enough to keep you going. The other thing is that actually, thank you, Maya. The other thing is that you can have lots of little whys along the way that kind of funnel into your big why as well. Last week I had, was it last week or the week before? I had a situation with my kind of reorganising all my admin, which is something that I do at the beginning of the year. And I realised that because I wanted a particular, I wanted to achieve something in particular in terms of how I do my admin, I had a very boring job ahead of me. I had to enter a huge amount of data onto a new piece of software, and there was no way of delegating it. There was no way of making it any shorter than it actually was. I just had to do it. And I had a little bit of procrastination because I find those kind of tasks unbelievably dull. But the way I got through it was, first of all, I identified how much time it was going to take. I knew it would take me about half a day to do it all. And so I scheduled time in my week to do that, a day where I wasn't really going to be interrupted. It wasn't a clinic day for me, so I could just really put my head down and do it. And the important thing was that I knew that in that particular instance, that's the way that I work best. That I just want, when I've got something boring like that, I just put my head down, get through it, and when it's done, it's a massive relief, and I give myself a great big slap on the back for having done it. So if that's the way you work, then obviously do that. If you're more the kind of person that needs to break things up, and your attention span or your boredom threshold is a bit lower than mine maybe, then, you know, maybe schedule it so that you've got an hour or so each day, and maybe that'll work better for you. So that's just an aside, is choose what works best for you. But what kept me going throughout it was remembering that once I'd done it, it was really going to make my life a lot easier. That actually a lot of the things that I was doing on a daily basis were going to be much quicker and easier. And that in turn was going to help me get to how I want to feel and where I'm ultimately going with my plan for my 12 months. So that's a good example of using everything that we've been doing to just get you through those boring tasks. And obviously you're going to have things that are going to be more difficult than that potentially. So good morning, Sarah, and good morning, Manuela. Thanks for joining me. We're almost at the end of this week's video. So next week, we're going to be talking about the 4th step in this program. It's the final video in my 4-part program to help you design your roadmap to create your best year yet. And I should add, it's that the 4 steps can be very helpful at any time of the year. I mean, not everybody wants to redesign their life at the beginning of the year. Good morning, Sarah. So you can use it at any time of the year. It obviously doesn't have to be January. It's just when most people are thinking about it. So the final step next week will be putting the stages, the stopping posts, if you like, that you're going to go through on your roadmap, and mapping your routes for getting to your destination. And those are obviously very individual to you. So it's about taking action and identifying a few minor goals that are going to help you to get to where you ultimately want to go now you've identified it. So enjoy this week's challenge, if you like. Have a really good think about your why. And I should say your why that you're going to identify now does not have to be something that you're going to stick with for the rest of your life. Not at all. All you're doing is identifying what you'd like to do for the next 12 months or the next 6 months, whatever time scale you want, and helping you to stay on track and get to that destination. So don't think, oh, I've chosen my why and then, not sure if I want to have that for the rest of my life. You don't have to. So I hope that makes it clear. Do ask me any questions. If any of you have any questions or comments or anything like that, then please do ask me. If you're watching on the replay, then it's not too late. You can post your comments, your questions, your experiences in the thread below, and I'll get back to you. If you think that you've got things popping up that you'd like some help with, and that you're not clear and you'd like an extra guide along your way, then if you want to know more about how I work, do pop onto my website. The address is in the post with this video. It's www.rebecca-atkinson.com, and you can set up a free phone call with me so that we can have a chat and find out how I can help you. Or you can register for my newsletter, which is also free. Or if you're already sure that you'd like to work with me, then you can book a consultation from my website. So I'd love to hear back from you. Do let me know how you're getting on, and obviously any suggestions that you might have. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I will just give you a couple of minutes if you want to ask any questions, ladies, or fling me any feedback or any experiences that you've had with the previous steps. Then I'd love to hear from you. Okay, so I'm going to give you all a wave. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I think that's probably it then. I will leave you to enjoy your days and enjoy the next few days really thinking about what my why is. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.